Principal of Health Tibbiya College, Professor Tanzeel Ahmad, Chairman Department of Moalajat and Coordinator of Peripheral Pharmacovigilance Center, Ajmal Tibbiya College. I also welcome distinguished speaker of the CME program, Dr. Aleemuddin, Quamri, HoD Department of Moalajat, National Institute of Unani Medicine, Bangalore. Professor Syed Ziaur Rahman, Department of Pharmacology, Jawaharlal Medical College, AMU, Aligarh. I heartily welcome Professor Kumar Muhammad Yusuf Amin, who will preside over the scientific session of the CME. As per the tradition, we will start this program with the recitation of few verses from the Holy Quran. May I request Dr. Abdul Aleem to recite the verses from the Holy Quran. Dr. Abdul Aleem.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وأوحى ربك إلى النحل أن اتخذي من الجبال ومن الشجر among the trees had that which will eat from all the fruit.
Thank you, Dr. Abdul Aleem. Now I request Professor Tanzeel Ahmad, Chairman Department of Moalajat and Coordinator of Peripheral Pharmacovigilance Center, for his introductory remarks.
Assalamu alaikum. Respected Unani Medicine faculty of Unani Medicine, our Principal Ajmal Tibbiya College, AMU Aligarh. Our today's most valued guest, Professor Muhammad Yusuf Amin, Professor Sayyid Ziaur Rahman, and Dr. Abdul Aleemuddin Quamri. Respected teachers, dear colleagues, our participants and students, I deem it a great honor and privilege to welcome you on behalf of the organizing committee. First, I must thank Almighty Allah for enabling us to organize such an academic endeavor. At present, there seems to be a tremendous scope for Unani medicine. It is very essential that the proponents of Unani system of medicine prove their work to the scientific world. There is a need for expediting the pace and improving the quality of research, more particularly clinical and pharmacological research for their worldwide acceptance. In India, Ayurveda, Siddha, and Unani system of medicines are considered to be the oldest system of medicine. Being time-tested, these systems of medicine are considered to be safe. The use of these ASU medicines continues to expand rapidly across the world. The interest and demand for ASU system of medicine is day by day increasing, both within India and abroad.
Muslim, please check the video of
People are more attractive for ASU system, and their awareness about ASU also increased dramatically.
Muslim, please check the video
About the safety of ASU system of medicine. For the purpose of rationalization,
Professor Tanzeel video is not available. Please check the video.
there is a need for monitoring safety and efficacy of drugs of these medical systems, and this is a matter of highest concern in current scenario. Hence, pharmacovigilance practice is the need of the hour, as it helps to prove this system safe, more scientific and up to date in modern terms. It is an absolute requirement to ensure public safety and to promote the healthy development of a ASU system of medicine. In India, concerning the importance of drug safety, Department of Ayush, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India launched the National Pharmacovigilance Program for reporting the adverse drug reaction for Ayurveda, Siddha and Unani drugs since 2008. Awareness and training programs are being conducted regarding adverse drug reactions related to Indian system of medicine through National Pharmacovigilance Program. A protocol of National Pharmacovigilance Program for ASU drugs was published by Ministry of Ayush in collaboration with WHO in order to have a proper documentation to regulate, monitor and control the activities of pharmacovigilance. In this perspective, this CME awareness program on pharmacovigilance bears special significance. I once again welcome you all in this academic endeavor and wish that this CME will provide not only essential knowledge but also encourage participation and exchange of information regarding pharmacovigilance. I hope that participants will utilize this opportunity. Thank you.
वीडियो नहीं आ रही है डॉक्टर प्रोफेसर तंजील
वीडियो भी नहीं आ रही है और आवाज भी मिक्स हो रही है
I request all the panelists please mute your mic and just on when it is required, otherwise we will have a disturbance. If we are having all the unmute mic simultaneously, there is a network problem as per the direction of computer center. So I request all the panelists, please unmute your mic when it is required.
Dr. Mursaleen?
Yes, sir.
Dr. Mursaleen, inform the persons who are managing this, we are not getting the video.
No, sir. There was a problem by Tanzeel sir video. Otherwise, I am visible, sir.
No, only you are visible.
And other panelists, sir?
No.
No, sir?
No.
Okay, sir.
So get them connected and then proceed.
Okay, sir.
एक बार चेक करा लेना
Sir, we have requested Computer Center to check this feasibility of the video, and now I request Professor.
Then you may stay for a while then until it is well connected.
Okay, sir.
जी डॉक्टर साहब, मगर आपका तो नजर ही नहीं आया, आवाज भी गूंज रही थी, तो मैंने इसको मुरसलीन को बोला है कि थोड़ा जब तक सब कनेक्ट नहीं हो जाए, हाँ अभी इसको मैंने रोका है कि जब तक सब कनेक्ट नहीं हो जाए और साउंड ऑन या थोड़ा सा रोक लो। ठीक है तो कंटिन्यू करवा दे।
Now I request Professor Saud Ali Khan, Principal Ajmal Tibbiya College, to present his views on this occasion.
Assalamu alaikum and very good morning to all. Professor Shirani, Professor Tanzeel Ahmad, Professor Uddin, Dr. Jamal Ahmad, Dr. Mursaleen, who is comparing this workshop, and other distinguished panelists of today's this CME program. First of all, I welcome all of you on my personal behalf as well as on behalf of Ajmal Tibbiya College. जैसा कि आपको मालूम है कि मिनिस्ट्री ने हमारे डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ मुआलजात को एक पेरिफेरल फार्माकोविजिलेंस सेंटर के ताल्लुक से स्टैब्लिश किया है और आज इसी के ऑस्पिसेस में ये सीएमई प्रोग्राम ऑर्गेनाइज किया जा रहा है और एक तरह से ये फार्माकोविजिलेंस के ताल्लुक से अवेयरनेस प्रोग्राम भी है जो कि हमारे इस पेरिफेरल फार्माकोविजिलेंस सेंटर के ताल्लुक से गालिबन ये पहला बाकायदा प्रोग्राम जहाँ तक मेरा अंदाजा है हो रहा है। मैं सबसे पहले चेयरमैन प्रोफेसर तंजील, मुरसलीन, प्रोफेसर मिसबाउद्दीन वगैरह को मुबारकबाद देता हूँ कि उन्होंने एक करंट अफेयर्स पर जो कि आयुष ड्रग्स के फार्माकोविजिलेंस से मुताल्लिक है ये प्रोग्राम मुनाकद किया और डेफिनेटली इससे हमारी फैकल्टी मेंबर्स, पीजी स्कॉलर्स, प्रैक्टिशनर्स और इससे तिब्बे यूनानी से ताल्लुक रखने वाले दीगर हजरात भी मुस्तफीज होंगे। जहाँ तक फार्माकोविजिलेंस का ताल्लुक है, ये WHO के मुताबिक दवाई मसनूआत के साइड इफेक्ट से बचाव पर नजर रखने के लिए इसको कायम किया गया है। इंडिया में फार्माकोविजिलेंस का आगाज दरअसल 1986 में अमल में आया और इसके बाद कुछ इसके मामलात में कदरे कजी आ गई, लेकिन जनवरी 2005 में WHO के इश्तराक के बाद इस जाविये से फार्माकोविजिलेंस के जाविये से थोड़ी तहरीक मुस्बत राह पर गामजन हुई और बाकायदा तौर पर सन 2017 में इसका इतलाक इंडिया में आयुष ड्रग्स के लिए, दीगर ड्रग्स की मैं बात नहीं कर रहा, उन पर इतलाक पहले हो चुका था, लेकिन बाकायदा तौर पर सन 2017 में आयुष ड्रग्स पर इसका इतलाक अमल में आया और आयुष सिस्टम की अद्वियात पर फार्माकोविजिलेंस के ताल्लुक से नजरसानी की गई। जैसा कि आप जानते हैं कि खुसूसी तौर पर फार्माकोविजिलेंस का काम है कि इन अद्वियात के एडवर्स इफेक्ट पर नजरसानी करना और उसको मंजर आम पर लाना। असल में ऐसा अब तक तस्वुर किया जाता रहा कि जैसे साइड इफेक्ट्स या एडवर्स इफेक्ट्स जो है वो महज जो है एलोपैथिक अद्वियात के ही हुआ करते हैं, तो इस ऐसा नहीं साबित होता है, बल्कि ये यूनानी अद्वियात के भी मुज़िर असरात बदन इंसानी पर रूनुमा हो सकते हैं। तो इस ताल्लुक से गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने फार्माकोविजिलेंस का इतलाक आयुष ड्रग्स पर भी किया और हमारा डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ मुआलजात इस ताल्लुक से बहुत नुमाया काम अंजाम दे रहा है और मजीद इसमें काम किए जाने की जरूरत है। मैं समझता हूँ कि इस अवेयरनेस प्रोग्राम और इस CME वर्कशॉप के जरिए से हमें इस ताल्लुक से मजीद काम करने में मदद मिलेगी, मजीद जानकारियां और लेटेस्ट एडवांसमेंट का हमें पता चलेगा। मैं एक बार फिर सबका खैर मकदम करते हुए डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ मुआलजात की इस सही को मैं लब्बैक कहता हूँ और इनको इस प्रोग्राम के इनकाद के लिए मुबारकबाद देता हूँ एंड आई विश ए वेरी सक्सेसफुल CME प्रोग्राम। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया सर, बहुत शुक्रगुजार हैं, आपने अपने कीमती वक्त से इनॉग्रेशन सेशन के लिए वक्त दिया और आपके जो भी मशवरे हैं इंशाअल्लाह ये सेंटर के लिए कारआमद साबित होंगी। और फिर से मैं एक बार डिपार्टमेंट की जानिब से आपका मजबूर मांगनी हुई, आपने नाउ मे आई रिक्वेस्ट प्रोफेसर FS Shirani, Dean Faculty of Unani Medicine, to deliver his presentation remarks.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम। प्रोफेसर सऊद अली खान साहब, प्रिंसिपल अजमल खान तिब्बिया कॉलेज, प्रोफेसर कंवर मोहम्मद यूसुफ अमीन साहब, प्रोफेसर ज़ियाउर रहमान साहब, डॉक्टर कुमरी, डॉक्टर जमाल अजमत, प्रोफेसर मिसबाउद्दीन सिद्दीकी, Professor Tanzeel Ahmad, Chairman and Coordinator of this online CME Come Awareness Program, dear colleagues and participants across the country. On behalf of Faculty of Unani Medicine, I would like to extend a warm welcome to all of you in this centenary year of Aligarh Muslim University. This Tibbiya College is one of the oldest institutions established under the aegis of this great seat of learning. So as this Department of Moalajat is the premier department of this Faculty of Unani Medicine. Though for centuries, Unani and other herbal drugs are considered as safe and innocuous medicine, this perception is likely to change in the light of some recent incidents of ADRs during its use. This, along with increased use of Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani and homeopathic drugs, both at international and national level, is likely to lead to increased interaction of these drugs with diverse genomic profiles. This is likely to increase incidences of expression of unexpected effects, which may be useful or adverse in nature. Thus, it should be considered at the right time to evolve a mechanism to record ADR of herbal drugs. Since there are considerable social and economic consequences of adverse drugs reactions and the positive benefits plus cost ratio of the implementing appropriate risk management, there is a need to engage healthcare professionals and the public at large in a well-structured program to build synergies for monitoring adverse drug reaction of Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani, and homeopathic medicines. The purpose of Pharmacovigilance Initiative for Asu&H drugs is to collect, collate, and analyze data to establish evidences for clinical safety of Unani and other herbal drugs and undertake surveillances of misleading advertisement of these drugs. I congratulate Professor Tanzeel Ahmad Sahab and his team for organizing CME Come Awareness program on such an important topic. Thank you very much for joining this program. Best of luck and stay safe and healthy. Khuda Hafiz.
Dr. Mursaleen, we are not getting the. I am not getting your voice.
Mursaleen has not unmuted.
Sorry. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir. Now you are audible.
Okay, thank you.
Just
Thank you.
don't forget to unmute yourself when you are speaking, please.
Okay. Thank you. Now, I request our first speaker of the scientific session, Dr. Aleemuddin Quamri, HoD Department of Moalajat, National Institute of Unani Medicine, to deliver his lecture on the topic concept in pharmacovigilance, definitions and terminologies.
Thank you to Marcus.
Thank you, Dr. Mursaleen. Can you please help me in sharing the presentation PPT? There is a hard to enable it.
Yes, are you having, sir, share option, sir?
No, it is disabled. Ask them to get it be enabled.
Okay. So we have requested computer center. Shortly you will get a share option. Please wait.
Yeah.
So please check, sir.
Yes, I got it. Just move.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Your presentation is visible now, sir.
Yeah. Let me acknowledge the authorities for giving me the opportunity to present with myself. With due respect to my senior and the team faculty of Human Medicine, Dr. Pharmacovigilance, sir, and the most admirable principal of Ajmal Tibbiya College, Professor Aleem, sir, and Ustad al-Asatiza, Professor Quamri, Muhammad Yusuf Amin, sir, my mentor, Professor Ziaur sir, my friend, my brother, my colleague, Chairman, Department of Moalajat, who is also the coordinator of the Peripheral Pharmacovigilance Center, Professor Tanzeel Ahmad, and other colleagues of the department like Professor Dr. Misbah, Dr. Mursaleen Naseer, and Dr. Ajmal, sir, and the last, Dr. Ali, who is the program assistant of this project, Pharmacovigilance program of Asu&H at Ajmal Tibbiya College, and other distinguished dignitaries who are witnessing this online virtual webinar on awareness of the pharmacovigilance program with reference to the Asu&H. As I have been assigned to say something about the concept of pharmacovigilance in Asu&H along with the definitions and the terminology. As a pretext before my talk, I would like to emphasize some of the things like, as a human being, if you look into the history, diseases and their cures, the drugs was known to the humankind, since time immemorial. If you look at the historical documents of the medical history, around 800 to 200 BC, there are evidences that the people used to treat their ailments with the existing indigenous sources of drugs or devices. I can say around 800 to 200 BC, the people who are living in those days, they are well versed with the knowledge of drugs, particularly what are the drugs which are non-toxic and what are the drugs which are toxic. It means the harm associated with the drugs well versed by the people in those before Christ era. Is it audible, sir? Is there any?
Yes, sir, you are very much audible. Please continue your presentation.
Is it okay from my side?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. So it is only during the 20th century, some of the adverse effects observed with the usage of the drugs that causes the emergence of the genesis of the pharmacovigilance. The concept of pharmacovigilance came into existence with a recorded severe adverse effects will come around across this board. According to the WHO, pharmacovigilance is defined as it is the science and activities relating to the drug, the assessment, understanding, and prevention of detection, assessment, understanding, prevention of adverse effects of
Dr. Aleemuddin Quamri sir, you are not audible now.
of the drug up to the post-marketing surveillance.
Yes, yes. Now you are audible.
It is the science of medicine safety monitoring. The pharmacovigilance is not talking about the drug-related. Recently, the sphere of the pharmacovigilance is being elaborated to different herbal system of medicine, particularly the traditional medicine and complementary alternative medicine. If you think about that, here globally there is a universally accepted conventional system of medicine is there. That is none other than the conventional or allopathic system of medicine. And at the same time, there are culturally imbibed or traditionally practicing system of medicines are there in different nations. All such medical systems are being categorized as traditional medicines or complementary alternative medicines. I mean to say, the pharmacovigilance is also covers herbals, traditional medicine, complementary alternative medicines, and blood products also, that is being treated as a hemovigilance, where blood and blood-related transfusion and all the blood products are being monitored. Apart from this, there are biologicals, medical devices, vaccines, substandard medication, the use of substandard medications, medication errors, lack of efficacy report of some of the drugs which are being in marketing, use of drugs without indication and inadequate scientific basis, use and misuse or abuse and misuse of some of the medicines, drug interaction with the drugs or drug and food interaction or drug chemical interactions. Moreover, material vigilance are also comes under the purview of the pharmacovigilance program. It means anything which is being used among the human subjects for therapeutic, prophylaxis, diagnostic, or any other purpose for the safety and efficacy of the human beings are all being monitored under the banner of, under the term of pharmacovigilance. So I thought, let me share some of how this pharmacovigilance came into existence. The reasons behind that emergence of the pharmacovigilance, the concept, I can say hardly it is a less than 200 years old term, probably somewhere in the 1848, the first documentary evidence report of adverse effect was reported in a girl of 15 years old, Hannah Greener, in England, somewhere in 1848, 24th of January. She was suffered with the infected toenail, and she was operated with the local anesthesia, with the chloroform was given. As a result, she met with an death. Properly, in the medical history, this is supposed to be the first documented adverse effect which leads to the death with the use of chloroform. Is probably this is the first one documented report of the pharmacovigilance. Followed by, there are so many events which were happened in the history, but some of them which occupied a greater position and place in the history of pharmacovigilance is in 1901, United States of America, 15 children were met with an accidentally death after the administration of a contaminated diphtheria antitoxin. This also has laid a milestone in the field of the pharmacovigilance. The most important thing which I would like to emphasize upon the two historical events which makes us to think about the existence and the functionality of the pharmacovigilance are: in 1937, sulfanilamide elixir tragedy in the USA has happened. I would like to bring to the notice of all my august audience here, before 1930s, there was no particular antibiotic availability for the treatment of infection, particularly the respiratory tract infection. Those days, there is only one pharmacy and the drug was available as an antibiotic to cure respiratory infection was sulfanilamide. As a tablet, it was available, but the drug was doing wonderfully efficacious among all the adult patients. There is a grass and the need for the dosage form to be changed and to be provided for the pediatric dosage. Those days, the pharmaceutical industry people took a from existing tablet to the elixir, where unknowingly or due to the ignorance or something which makes the people not seriously taken into consider the safety aspect of the elixir, they manufactured and marketed into the drug. As a result, more than 150 children were met with death, because this elixir contains an anti-freezing substance that is a diethyl glycagon was used. This is an anti-freezing substance which is highly nephrotoxic. This is the only chemical were proven to be a solvent for this sulfanilamide, and as a result, without looking into the safety of the drug being marketed as an elixir, they have given more importance to the efficacy. The drug was exclusively good with reference to the effectiveness, but safety part of the drug was not being taken care by the pharmacy people, and as a result, there is a huge loss of the human life, particularly the children were there. From there, the people were started focusing about any drug should be marketed with proven safety. Efficacy was given much more importance prior to that, but by the same time, after the reported evidence of the sulfanilamide elixir, pharmaceutical industries were mandated that effectiveness, apart from the effectiveness, safety of all the drugs is to be established. Based upon the safety report only, the drugs will be permitted to be marketed. In the meanwhile, the big disastrous condition was happened in 1960. This was the period of the post-World War, where the people were started suffering with the insomnia. There is a lack of sleep. People, and moreover, the post-traumatic stress syndrome was also there. And the thalidomide was a drug available as a over-the-counter to use as a hypnotic. People started using thalidomide as a hypnotic for sleep induction, and that they are getting benefit also. But at the same time, a cohort, a group of people who were called as the pregnant people with the hyperemesis gravidarum as the condition, to control their nausea and vomiting during the pregnancy, the drugs which were available those days were not found to be effective. But some of the obstetricians, they found that thalidomide is also, thalidomide is a drug being used as a hypnotic, but at the same time, this drug is also giving, working as an anti-emetic among the pregnant women. Of course, this is a wonderful finding, indication, but the drug is not being marketed for controlling the nausea and vomiting among the pregnant women. And though the indications are different, but the drug has been popularized among the pregnant women to control nausea and vomiting. Ultimately, they found that the pregnant women, more than 10,000 pregnant women who consumed thalidomide drug were given birth to the babies with a defect limbs, a condition termed as a phocomelia, mean abnormal or defective growth of the limbs, both limbs. This has been reported around more than 10,000 cases over the German USA. And this is the one, a great change in the history of the medical sciences that emphasizes to have a certain regulatory mechanism to control all non-indicated drugs should not be marketed for other reasons. Like thalidomide was the drug for basically the drug is being provided for leprosy, neuralgia, and as a hypnotic, but nowhere it was indicated as this drug can be used as an antiemetic and anti-nauseatic among the pregnancy. The drug was worked very effectively, but the consequences, the risk was much more in comparison to the benefit. That makes us to globally think there must be certain rules. The rules should be focused more on safety in comparison to the efficacy. Prior to these, some of the important events, pharmaceutical industry and globally, the people were more passionate to have drugs with the efficacy. But based upon the outcome, the adversaries, the phenomenon of marketing drugs was being changed to importance should be paid much more to the safety in comparison to the efficacy. So this is in brief about the emergence of the pharmacovigilance. After that, different countries came out with their own rules. WHO has started giving safety monitoring of the drugs. Similarly, in India also, initially the pharmacovigilance program started in the modern medical sciences. Lateral, like Professor Saudali has told that Ayush system has also been made mandate to cover under the program of the pharmacovigilance. Now, presently, this is a privileged project of the government of India under the central sectoral scheme, where it is functioning under 3-tier system. At the apex level, we have a national pharmacovigilance center at All India Institute of Ayurveda, Delhi, followed by 5 intermediary pharmacovigilance centers for all system of medicine. I'm very glad to place myself before you. I'm the national coordinator for the Unani system of medicine, and the National Institute of Unani Medicine is being categorized as declared as an intermediary pharmacovigilance center for Unani medicine. And similarly, likewise, we have nearly some 10-12 peripheral centers. And today, with the invitation of the Professor Tanzeel Ahmad as the coordinator of the pharmacovigilance, we are sharing the information about the objectives and some of the important points related to the pharmacovigilance. Thank you for inviting me. And let me continue the things as I have been told to explain, to share the information about the concept of pharmacovigilance in Asu drugs, Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani, and homeopathy. Due to the time concern, I'm just sticking on to the Unani concept as part of the pharmacovigilance concept in Unani medicine. Let me try to share you to learn something from the very highly dignified people are there, like Qamri Muhammad Yusuf Sars are there, and Dr. Tanzeel Ahmad sir, Manan sir is also supposed to be joining, and some other faculty who are sitting in that Ajmal Tibbiya college. Some of the information from the literature with reference to the conceptual part of the pharmacovigilance from Unani medicine, I would like to share with you. One important point which as a pretext to share with you, Ibn Sina, Razi, before them the Gallen, all the enlightened physicians of the Unani system of medicine, they recommended that any drug, if you think tested on animal first, find out the effectiveness along with the safety, then should be shifted to the healthy individuals, that is the human being, before they are to use in general. So in Unani literature, our ancient physicians, they are the pioneers of the system of medicine. They emphasize that no drug should be used directly among the human beings. It's as a pretext, as a mandatory, all such a drug should be tested among the animals, followed by humans. I have some of the information to be shared with you, there are just a moment. Some cheeses, I think I hope people will be very comfortable to situate me from English as well as some of the Urdu part, because I cannot able to translate all the literary words from the Unani literature to keep the gist and the importance of the true meaning of the some of the sentences. मैं इन तमाम चीजों को उर्दू में हूबहू हमारे तमाम ऑडियंस के सामने ले आना चाह रहा हूँ। हमें की कई किताबों में चंद चीजें हवालात जो मिले मुझे, एक जगह लिखा हुआ है बुखारात के हवाले से, दवा उसी वक्त पियो जब जरूरत हो, बिला जरूरत पी लोगे और असर करने के लिए उसे कोई मर्ज ना मिलेगा तो सेहत पर असरअंदाज होगी और मर्ज पैदा हो जाएगा। ये था बुखारात का कौल। कहते हैं कि दवा का इस्तेमाल लाजमी तौर पे मर्ज हो तो ही होना चाहिए, वरना मर्ज ना होने की सूरत में ये सेहत पर असरअंदाज करेगी। So it shows that the importance of the use of the drug restricted to the malady or the ailment. Let me take you to the focus of one of the French playwright, a poet, Molière. He said that to undergo treatment, you have to be very healthy, because apart from your sickness, you have to withstand the medicine that we don't know, because it's the same drug. One drug may be working in one individual in a different way, with the other in a different way. That's what we call as the biological variations are individual differences in the effects of the drug. So here Molière says that if you are going to be treated, you should be very healthy, because you are not only to fight against the disease, but also the medication what you are going to take. This is a very wonderful concept. What it seems to be is reflecting, or it says it is in parallel to the statement of the Bukhara. I have one more statement with reference to the Razi. Razi कहते हैं दवाओं से हटकर हकीम अगर ग़िज़ाओं के जरिए इलाज कर सके तो ये सादत की दलील है। Very important point. वैसे Unani में we have a very good modalities of the treatment. Primarily our Tibbiya, they used to treat the conditions with ilaj bil ghiza, and I think we people have a great what is called as an identity. Unani की Tibbiya हुक्मा इलाज ग़िज़ाओं से भी करते हैं, and that is important also. And this is one of the conceptual what is called the scope of pharmacovigilance also, where the diet-drug interaction also been explained. Similarly, no effective medicine is without risk. If a drug is there, if a drug is having some effect, maybe certainly they do have some risk, they carry some sort of a risk. Like Professor Fawaz was telling about that natural drugs are safe. No, the concept is being revised. Initially, people were thinking that the modern conventional drugs are they are the chemical one, they do carry a lot of complications. And people are shifting directly to the herbal source of medicines with the intention that because they are all have bought from the nature. Now it has been proven that even the drugs from the nature do have certain risks. We have a list of the drugs which carries so many chemical alkaloids and some toxic substances. But let me focus you to explain you one of the reference with one point. एक शिकायत मैं आप लोगों से शेयर करना चाहता हूँ. जालिलूस ने लिखा है कि वो बेख्वाबी की शिकायत के लिए वो खुद इंसोम्निया में मुब्तला थे कि ये रोजाना काहू का खलिया इस्तेमाल करता था और कहते हैं कि वो काहू की मुजरत को दूर करने के लिए उसके साथ दारचीनी शामिल करते थे. Here I am just trying to focus that kahu is a drug being used by Jalnus as a hypnotic, to get a sleep, but he know that if I use continuously Kabul, it may cause a certain adversaries in the body. To prevent the adversary, he added Darchini. It shows that the concept effective medicines are not away from risks. Similarly, if you look at the area, the scope of pharmacovigilance, anything related to the drug and adversaries, out of that we have a point called as medication error, where it relates to wrong administration, overdosage, underdosage, wrong dosage form, inappropriate use, or wrongly using, the route of administration is also part of the pharmacovigilance program. If we look at that, according to the Paracelsus, who is about 1580, he said poison is in everything and no thing is without poison. The dosage makes it either a poison or a remedy. मैं इस बात को मजीद कुछ चीज अतिब्बा ने जिन चीजों को बताया हुआ है अल-हावी फी तिब के हवाले से हमने एक जगह पाया बकसरत पानी पीना खराब है. Here the dosage, पानी पीना लाजमी है क्योंकि ये असबाब सित्ता ज़रूरिया की एक सबब भी है. माकुल मशरूब का एक मुनासिब होना चाहिए. अगर कोई चीज हद से तजवीज कर जाए तो ये भी मुज़िर है. कहते हैं क्योंकि पानी बकसरत पीना खराब है इस वजह से क्योंकि ये तबरीद और तरतीब पैदा करता है जो मिजाज के अंदर तब्दील का बाइस बन करता है. Here the emphasis about the dosage form, that meant the dose, not dosage, quantitatively excessiveness. हमारे तकरीबन में शराब का इस्तेमाल सूलन किस्म को और मिकदार को, लेकिन अतिब्बा ने ये भी बताया जालियों के हवाले में कुछ हकायत मिलती हैं कि शराब का कसरत इस्तेमाल फिक्र को फासिद, बलीद, कम और मुकद्दर कर देती है. So the concept of the dosage related and then one of the important incident happened with our own
Sir, there is some network issue at your right.
उन्होंने गवान कॉलेज में
Yes, please continue, sir.
audible?
Yes, yes, yes.
इतना बढ़ा दिया उनको सहजमा की किसी हो गई. मजीद के दर्द को कम करने के लिए उन्होंने नामी एक नुस्खा इस्तेमाल करते थे जिसमें अफ्यून की मिकदार बड़ी हुई थी. सहजमा को कम करने के लिए उन्होंने तुख्म करफ को भी हुक्ना के इसमें शामिल किया गया. यहाँ
Sir, there is some interruption in your voice in between your lecture. Please ensure that connection is working properly.
So here I don't have any problem.
No, sir, we are not able to hear you regularly. There is some interruption.
Okay. Let me change this, please.
Yes, sir. Now you start this. Yes.
Just a moment.
Your slide is visible, but there is some problem in your voice, sir. You start now, sir?
Yeah, just a moment. I think I have a very established connectivity here. The
Yes. Now you are clearly audible, sir. Please continue.
Okay, thank you. Please. Yeah.
Yes.
So, this is one of the reference from the Unani literature which speaks about the medication error, overdosage, leads to severe adverse drug reaction that leads to fatality of a very the big personality of the Unani system of medicine like Ibn Sina. There are so many incidents are there. मौफिकुद्दीन अब्दुल लतीफ बगदादी के हवाले से एक हमें हिकायत मिलती है। एक बंदा सलाहुद्दीन दमिश्क तशरीफ ले आए थे। एक दिन हाजियों को अलविदा कहने के लिए निकले, वापस हुए तो बुखार बढ़ा हुआ था। एक जाहिल ने फस्द खोल दिया, चुनाचे ताकत गिर गई और 14वें दिन से पहले इंतकाल फरमा गए। Here, the probably first is being indicated to be given among the ऐसे हुक्मियात ने जायज करार दिया गया, लेकिन तबीब की हजाकत इस कदर नहीं थी कि उसको फर्ज किया जाए ना किया जाए। नतीजतन एक बंदा बिल्कुल कम मुद्दत में इंतकाल कर गया। This also we have an evidence in the literature. If you look at the scope of the pharmacovigilance, I told you there are drug-drug interaction, food-drug interaction, food-food interaction also. Alhamdulillah, Unani literature speaks much an elaborate description about their food-food interaction. हमने अक्सराई और दीगर किताबों में इस हिकायत को पाया, ताजा मछली और दूध को एक साथ ना खाया जाए क्योंकि ये जुजाम और फालिज जैसे मुज़मिन अमराज पैदा करते हैं। अगर इफ यू लुक एट द पैथोलॉजी, क्योंकि ये दोनों चीजें गलीज हैं और फसाद की तरफ जल्द मुस्तहिल हो जाती हैं, लिहाजा इन दोनों से वो मादे पैदा होंगे जो रद्दी हैं, मुज़मिन मर्जों की मुअज्जिब हैं, और अगर ये दोनों दुकानियत और सौदा की तरफ मुस्तहिल होंगे तो जुजाम पैदा होगा, और अगर बलगम की तरफ मुस्तहिल हो जाए तो फालिज का लाहक हो सकता है। मुमकिन है तक आज हम हमारे घरों में भी अक्सर हमारे बुजुर्गवार भी लोगों को खाने से गुरेज करते हैं, किस तरह की चीजें बैवक्त ना लिया जाए। तिब्बी किताबों में, हमारे लिटरेचर में, यूनानी लिटरेचर में जा बजा इस तरह की बहुत सारी हिकायतें मिलती हैं, मछली और दूध को एक साथ ना खाया जाए। सिमिलरली दूध को तुलसी के साथ नहीं जमा करना चाहिए। दूध और तुलसी लेने से होने वाले नतायज, क्योंकि तुलसी दूध को मैदे में जमा देती है और जब दूध मैदे में जमा हो जाता है तो जहर हो जाता है और अक्सर औकात कॉलर पैदा हो जाता है। दिस इज ऑल्सो अ पॉइंट टू बी नोटेड। सिमिलरली सीरी खाने के बाद अंगूर नहीं खाना चाहिए। अंगूर मैदे को तर करने वाली रुतूबत ज्यादा होती हैं। सीरी बलगमियत और लेस ज्यादा रखता है, लिहाजा ये बलगमियत अंगूर की रुतूबत की वजह से और बढ़ जाती है और बलगमी अमराज के सबब बनती हैं। मजीद कुछ हिकायत इस तरह मिलती है कि हरीसा खाने के बाद अनार नहीं खाना चाहिए क्योंकि अनार खाबिस और नफा होता है, हरीसा गलीज और लज़्ज़ होता है, इसलिए इससे बलगम पैदा होंगे और नफाक जिस चीज से मिल जाने पर हज़्म में खलल आ जाता है और इसके बाद रद्दी मादे पैदा होकर मुख्तलिफ अमराज पैदा होंगे। मजीद अज़ान, तरबूज और चावल साथ में नहीं खाना चाहिए क्योंकि चावल में लिफाफ और कसीर रुतूबत होते हैं, तरबूज रुतूबत बकसरत होती है, इसलिए ज़ोफ़े मैदा के हामिल लोगों में नुकसानदेह। ये तमाम चीजें अतिब्बा ने बखूबी बयान की हुई हैं कि किस तरह की ग़िज़ाएं खानी चाहिए, किन मिजाज के लोगों में खाना चाहिए, किन हालात में खाना चाहिए। तो ये थे कुछ हिकायतें। मजीद एक और इसहाक बिन इमरान के हवाले से लिखा हुआ है कि एक मरीज था जो ज़िक़्र नफ्स में मुब्तला था, उसको दही देने दे दिया। एक तबीब ने कहा कि मरीज की ख्वाहिश थी कि मैं मर्ज ज़िक़्र नफ्स के दौरा ना होने की सूरत में दही खा लूं। एक तबीब कह रहा था कि खा ले, दूसरा तबीब कहता था कि दही ना दिया जाए, लेकिन एक दही मरीज ने अपनी ख्वाहिश को मद्देनजर रखते उसने दही खा लिया। नतीजतन उसको इतनी शिद्दत के साथ दौरे हुए कि मरीज इस कदर बेचैन रहा, नतीजतन उसको फिर उस तबीब ने जो खाने से मना किया था उसने बर्फ खिला के तय करवाया, उसके बाद उसके मर्ज में फासा हुआ था। ये वाक़या भी कहीं ना कहीं बतलाता है कि कैसी ग़िज़ाएं किन अमराज में खाना चाहिए और कितनी मिक़दार में खाना चाहिए। सो दिस इज ऑल्सो वन ऑफ द पार्ट ऑफ द फार्माकोविजिलेंस व्हाट वी हैव फाउंड इन दिस। एक हिकायत हमें इस तरह भी मिलती थी कि अबू मरवान बिन ज़हर कसरत से अंजीर खाया करते थे, तो जिसे हकीम ने अंजीर तो अबू मरवान से कहा करते थे कि तुम अंजीर जो हमेशा खाया करते हो उससे तुम्हें फोड़ा होकर रहेगा। और इस बात पे बताया कि अबू मरवान हकीम की बात मानकर उसने अंजीर से परहेज करते हुए कुछ भी नहीं खाते तो तुम्हें हमेशा तशन्नुज लाग होगा। तो रावी कहता है कि फार तशन्नुज की बीमारी से हिलाक हो गया। इसी तरह इब्न ज़ुहर के पहलू में भी फोड़ा निकला था जिससे वो जानवर ना हो सका। ऐसे कुछ वाक़ियात हमें तारीख़ तिब में और अतिब्बा की ऑब्जर्वेशंस में ये बातें मिलती हैं कि इन्होंने फार्माकोविजिलेंस को, ड्रग रिलेटेड एडवर्सरीज को बाकायदा इन्होंने कलमबंद किया हुआ है। एक और वाकया इब्न सिना के हवाले से बताया जाता है कि उनके दौर में चंद लोग मर्जे आंख में आशुब चश्म रमज जैसी कैफियत हुई थी, तो वहां के मकामी अतिब्बा अमूमन अमराज ऐन में शियाफ इस्तेमाल करते थे, लेकिन जिन शियाफों के नतीजे में उनकी आंखों के अंदर सूजन लाहक हो गई थी, मखसूस तौर पे पर्दा अनबिया सूज गया था। तो जब ये ऐसे मरीज इब्न सिना के पास पहुंचे तो उन्होंने तवक्कुफ से काम लिया और पुरसुकून हो गया, खुदा मुंतमिल हो गया, और चंद दिन के बाद उन्होंने चंद मखसूस पानियों को जिसमें हुलबा, गुलाब, जाफरान जैसी चीजों की आबियत को इस्तेमाल करते हुए अमराज का इलाज दोबारा से कर दिया। ये थे चंद हिकायतें जो तिब्बी यूनानी में जावजा बताई गई हुई हैं कि इन्होंने दवाओं से लाहक एडवर्सरीज, मुजर्रात और उनके इस्लाह ऐसे मामलात को कैसे कंट्रोल किया गया, जावजा लिखी हुई हैं। इनसे जाहिर होता है कि यूनानी सिस्टम ऑफ मेडिसिन इज एम्बाइब्ड विद द रिच concept of pharmacovigilance. I would like to emphasize two important points with the banner of the pharmacovigilance is materiovigilance and hemovigilance. Materiovigilance is the coordinated system of identification, collection, reporting and analysis of any untoward occurrence associated with the use of medical devices. मुझे लगता है कि मेटेरियोविजिलेंस एक ऐसा पोर्शन है जो तिब्बी यूनानी से भी हमें वी हैव टू फोकस अबाउट इट। सब्सिक्वेंटली आई विल ट्राई टू ब्रिंग द इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट। Hemovigilance is exclusively related with the transfusion of the blood, its procedure, along with the blood products. I think throughout the literature, probably we are lacking. I think I may not sure about the hemovigilance part, क्योंकि हमारे यहाँ ब्लड और ब्लड प्रोडक्ट्स को बतौर इलाज एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन का शायद इतना तस्करा नहीं है। एक चीज है जो मैं आपको अगले स्लाइड में डेफिनेटली शेयर करूंगा। अगर हम मेटीरियल विजिलेंस की बात करेंगे, अधिव्या में collection of drugs, storage of drugs, packaging of the drugs, labeling of the drugs, dispensing of the drugs, all these things should be thoroughly monitored with reference to the material vigilance. Similarly, Saidala pharmacy के ज़िम्मे में भी कुछ बातें आती हैं। Nowadays we have been totally replaced with the classical instruments of preparing the drugs. I'm just emphasizing about the instruments like Havandasta, Karal. अतिब्बा ने इनके कुछ चंद मखसूस किस्म की खरल बयान किए गए, चंद मखसूस पत्थरों हजम की बात बयान की गई है और उनकी अफादियत भी बयान की गई है, उनके तरीक़ाकार भी बतलाया गया हुआ है। टुडे वी आर टोटली shifted from the classical concept of the devices to the modern equipments. So we need to pay attention about the material what we are using. Here my concern is not only with the effectiveness of the preparation of the drug, but at the same time the safety aspect also. And finally, इलाज भी तदबीर में बहुत सारे सब तदाबीर हैं जहां पे मटेरियल से मुताल्लिक बात करना ही है, गौर करनी चाहिए, लेकिन मेरी मुराद यहाँ है तदाबीर इस्तिफराग दम में, जिसमें फस्द, हिजामा और इरसाल अलग। फस्द में अतिब्बा ने चुनिंदा रगों पे खून को खारिज करने के लिए इलाजन इस्तिफराग दम की बात बयान की गई है। मैं हमारे ऑडियंस से भी ये कहना चाहता हूँ कि फस्द की इब्तिदा उस दौर में हुई थी जब काफी अतिब्बा ने इसके इतराज भी किए थे, क्योंकि फस्द के नतीजे में जो मादा खारिज किया जाएगा वो तो खून होगा, और खून को अतिब्बा बिल्कुल एक बहुत ही प्रीशियस मटेरियल समझते थे। लेकिन उस वक्त के हाजिर अतिब्बा में से जानिस और दीगर लोगों ने अरिस्टोटेलस ने भी इस बात को रद्द कर दिया। उन्होंने कहा कि जब तक खून अपनी कमियत और कैफियत में एतदाल होगा, मोतदिल होगा, तभी वो उसकी अहमियत होगी। अगर इन कमियत और कैफियत में कोई गैर तबी सूरत इख्तियार हो जाए तो ऐसे मादे का तो तनहिया करना चाहिए, उसी सूरत में कायम हो सकती है। तो यहाँ मेरी मुराद है, मेरी कंसर्न इज anomaly or the birth defect. This is called as the serious adverse drug event. Likewise, there are certain critical terms which are generally used to assess the seriousness of the adverse effects are seriousness and the severity, side effect, spontaneous reporting, suspected, unexpected serious adverse reaction, unexpected adverse effect or adverse drug reaction. Finally, we'll talk a few words about the casualty assessment. Let us try to understand what is seriousness and severity. Seriousness is defining as a regulatory reporting obligation, whether the condition is a mild, moderate, or severe. That it stands for. Severity is if the seriousness is defining a regulatory reporting obligation. Severity describes the intensity of the event. How much severe is this? Like mild, moderate, and severe. Coming to the point of the side effect, any unintended effect which is not expected with the use of the pharmaceutical product occurring at the doses normally used in a man which is related to the pharmacological property of the drugs. This is called as the side effect. Generally, we often speak about the side effect rather than adversaries. There is a marginal difference between the adverse drug reaction, adverse drugs effect, adverse drug reporting, and side effects. Coming to the reporting point of the thing, spontaneous reporting is a term which used in the pharmacovigilance program. It is an unsolicited communication to regulatory authorities that describes an ADR in a patient given one or more medicinal product. When a person using one or more medicinal product, if they got any problem, in such a case, if they wanted to report to the authorities, the format, the communication which is being used as a spontaneous reporting system. SUSAR generally we use stand for suspected, unexpected, serious adverse drug reaction, which can be understood as related to an investigational medicinal product and comparator that are both unexpected and serious are subjected to expedited reporting. This is called as SUSAR. Finally, unexpected adverse events of the ADRs, there it is the one-off for which the nature, the severity is not consistent, meaning they are variously changing. With the information in the relevant source document, domestic labeling and the market authorizations are expected for the characteristics of the drug. These are all the terms we often come across in the pharmacovigilance program. The casualty assessment is the one where the determination of whether there is a reasonable possibility that the product is etiologically related to the adverse experiences. The point of casualty assessment will come into existence whenever a person reported any uneventuality. If you wanted to assess that the uneventuality is whether exclusively due to the use of the drug what they have been given or as a complication of the other drugs, in such a case, if you assess that, the method of assessment calls the causality assessment. And this causality assessment includes the assessment of the temporal relationship, de-challenging and the re-challenging information, association or the lack of association of the drug and the reaction with underlying disease, and the presence or absence of the or a more likely cause and physiological or pathological plausibility is also been assessed in the causality assessment. There are standard scales are there through which causality assessment will be carried out. One is the Naranjo scale for ADR assessment, and another one is the WHO assessment scale for adverse event, where the reporting will be in the form of the reaction or certainly due to the drug what they have used, probably it may be due to, possibly due to, unlikely, conditional, or inaccessible and unclassified. These are different terms which used during the assessment based upon the score of the WHO assessment scale. With this, now my talk is coming to the conclusion. As a people responsible for the program, I would like to end with the objective of the program, pharmacovigilance. Basically, the objective of the pharmacovigilance is improve patient care and safety in relation to the use of medicines and all medical and paramedical intervention. This is the primary objective. And overall improve public health and safety in relation to the use of the medicine. The third is, as a stakeholder, contribute to the assessment of benefit, harm, effectiveness and risk of medicine, and moreover, encouraging safe, rational and more effective use of medicine, which includes cost effectiveness also. Finally, as we are all being responsible to promote understanding, educating, and trying to impart the clinical training in the pharmacovigilance and its effective communication to the public. Ultimately, we are making people to be safeguarded with adversaries, and as a whole, it is the science which is thinking about the risk management, providing safe Final thank you for this patiently listening to my lecture. Thank you.
बहुत शुक्रिया सर। मैं सारे पार्टिसिपेंट से एक गुजारिश करना चाहूँगा कि जैसे कि आपको प्रोग्राम शेड्यूल के हिसाब से पता है कि हम लोग 2 लेक्चर्स हमारे हैं और 2 लेक्चर्स के बाद में जो प्रेसिडेंशियल एड्रेस है वो प्रोफेसर मोहम्मद यूसुफ अमीन साहब का है और उसके बाद फिर कंक्लूडिंग रिमार्क्स और वोट ऑफ थैंक्स बाय प्रोफेसर मिर्जा सतीकी साहब। सारे पार्टिसिपेंट से रिक्वेस्ट है कि वो पूरे सेशन में मौजूद रहें और लास्ट में हम एक फीडबैक परफॉर्मेंस सेंड करेंगे, उसको फिल करके आप हमको वापस करिएगा, उसी से आपको जो है वो सर्टिफिकेट जनरेट। सो वंस अगेन आई एम वेरी मच थैंकफुल टू डॉक्टर मोहम्मद अलीमुद्दीन Quamri for the informative lecture, and he well explained the different terminologies used in the pharmacovigilance. Now I request our second speaker of this scientific session, Professor Sayyid Ziaur Rahman Sahab, who is working as professor in the Department of Pharmacology, Jawaharlal Medical College in Aligarh, and he has been associated with different organizations working in the field of pharmacovigilance. So I request now Professor Sayyid Ziaur Rahman Sahab to deliver his lecture on the topic Experience in Pharmacovigilance of Unani Medicine.
Thank you very much. So after this informative lecture by Dr. Quamri on the concept, definitions, terminologies, and the causality assessment, so his presentation has made my presentation quite easy, and I hope that my presentation is basically based on my own experiences in this field. And before I start my presentation, I would like to thank the organizing committee, especially Dr. Tanzeel, head of the department, Mursaleen, and the other teachers like Dr. Misbauddin Sahab, Dean Professor F.S. Shirani, Principal Dr. Professor Saud Ali Khan, and my teacher Professor Yusuf Amin Sahab, who is presiding this lecture, and the distinguished participants. So, as I said, this is something. Can you see my sharing, Dr.
No,
just enable me sharing my participation.
Okay, yes, please.
Okay, so this is something which I'm going to present, all related to the summary of all the presentations which I in many conferences on vigilance, as well as the deliberations which I heard is the summary of all the deliberations which I heard, and most of you may be knowing that Professor K.C. Singhal was working on pharmacovigilance. So whatever I learned from his talks, and give the credit of this interest in pharmacovigilance to Professor K.C. Singhal, because when I joined this Department of Pharmacology, Naseer,
Sir,
can you
I think you have get the sharing option now?
No, it's not sharing option, it's not open.
Sir, please check.
No, it's not working. Dr. Nene, it's not working. You are not present. Okay, now it's working.
Yes.
Just a minute. Okay. So, as I was saying, okay, this is okay. Now you can see the presentation. All right, that's good.
Professor Ziaur Rahman sir, now your presentation is visible to us. You can continue your lecture now.
Fine. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay.
So I hope you heard what I just said. related to my experience.
Yes. In initial, we have heard you, whatever you have told us. Please continue. Hello. Professor Ziaur Rahman sir, your voice not audible now. Your presentation is visible, but we are not able to hear you.
Sorry, I think I was off.
Now you are audible.
Okay, so just allow me to share once again my presentation because it's still not enabled.
Your slide is visible.
My
Okay. Just please wait, Professor Ziaur Rahman sir. We are again providing you the share option. I think there is some technical issue. They are resolving. Please wait. Yes, Professor Ziaur Rahman sir.
Yes, I'm doing.
Yes.
Yes, it's working.
Okay.
Okay, good. Okay, sorry for the technical glitch. So I was okay. Now you can audible.
Yes,
can you
yes.
hear me? Okay, fine, good. So I'm going to present my own experience in this field of pharmacovigilance of Unani medicine, and because as I said, Dr. Aleemuddin Quamri has made my lecture so easy, so I'm not going into the details of all the technical terms of pharmacovigilance. So as I said. I've been working in this field of pharmacovigilance for the last more than 20 years because my teacher, Professor Singh, was working on this field. So he actually was the WHO honorary consultant to the International Monitoring Program for Traditional Medicine. As you all know that WHO Collaborating Center is situated at Uppsala in Sweden, and he was the honorary consultant to the Uppsala Monitoring Center, and he was supposed to write the signals of all the areas which are reported to the Uppsala Monitoring Center. So, and I was a part of his team, so I was like looking into the mechanism of all these areas. So this international drug monitoring program for traditional medicine was all started from the WHO itself. And when he made a strategy in 2002 to 2005, and this strategy was extended to 2007 when they published national policies on the complementary and alternative medicine. Then Uppsala Monitoring Center individually was working in Sweden, but WHO has asked Uppsala Monitoring Center to look this affair at an international level. So WHO has made this Uppsala Monitoring Center as a WHO collaborating center for international drug monitoring. So WHO recognized this Uppsala Monitoring Center and asked the member countries also to monitor not only the streamlined medicine or allopathic medicine, but also try to monitor the herbals and traditional medicine, which includes obviously the not only the herbs, minerals, and animal originated drugs. So the Uppsala Monitoring Center asked its member countries, including India, and India started its own program, which was called as NPP, National Pharmacovigilance Program, which was run through the funding of the World Bank, and it was from 2005 to 2010. But when this funding was stopped for a while, this program could not succeed, and then the CDSC, or Central Drug Surveillance Control Organization, asked the Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission to restart this program. So NCC is the National Coordinating Center, which is the Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission of Ghaziabad, and they renamed this program as PVPI, Pharmacovigilance Program of India, which was restarted in 2011 and is still going on. Then some experts, they realized that India does not have any program related to herbal medicine. So they asked to have exclusive program for Ayurveda, Siddha, and Unani drugs, and that's why this NPP, National Pharmacovigilance Program, with ASU was started in 2008 from the Jamnagar, and again which continued till 2013. Again, it was with the funding of World Bank. Somehow it could not succeed, and then people realized that again this National Pharmacovigilance Program for ASU drugs should also come under the Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission. So in 2017, this National Pharmacovigilance Program was restarted in collaboration with the Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission. I'll try to comment on this part also later on, but as I said, International Drug Monitoring Program is the program which is governed by Uppsala Monitoring Center. And in relation to herbal medicine, earlier this Uppsala Monitoring Center was looking only the allopathic system of medicine, but as I said, WHO asked Uppsala Monitoring Center to include herbs also. So they included the project on safety of monitoring of herbal medicines in their project. And very important part which Uppsala Monitoring Center did, because herbs are used in many countries, and in many countries traditional medicine and complementary medicine is a part of the tradition also. And there was a problem in identifying these drugs because there was no single name for any herbs. Sometimes they were reported by its own vernacular terms or local terms. So they made herbal anatomical therapeutic classification like the WHO drug dictionary. You mostly know that VigiBase is a database which is maintained by Uppsala Monitoring Center. So VigiBase database is having all the ADRs in relation to WHO drug dictionary. So this is a booklet which you can see herbal ATC index and guideline for ATC classification. And there was a person, Farah Mohammed, in the Uppsala Monitoring Center. He was from Somalia, and he was the instrumental in translating all the scientific terms of herbs into the coding of which is called an ATC classification. But now he's retired, so this program is still not completed. So these are some books and publications which inspire all the national countries to start its own monitoring program in relation to the herbal medicine. Again, you can see these WHO literature on pharmacovigilance. The first book which came in 2000, where there was a general guidelines, and then again another publication on the importance of pharmacovigilance in 2002. But in relation to herbal medicine, 2004 publication is very important. And in fact, I got this book in 2004 itself, and my teacher, Professor Singers, asked me to work on this safety monitoring of herbal medicine. And because of this, we instituted this Center for Safety and Rational Use of Indian System of Medicine, which is basically a part of the Ibn Sina Academy. And you'll be happy to know that the first national symposium on relevance of herbal pharmacovigilance was organized at our Department of Pharmacology on 4th November 2006, under the aegis of CSRUSM, where we submitted a report to the Ministry of Ayush to start exclusive program for the ASU drug. And on the basis of this report, Ministry of Ayush asked the Jamnagar, the Institute of Postgraduate Training Center, to have a national workshop. So they had a workshop in 2007 next year, and they not only organized this workshop but also formulated a reporting form for the suspected ADRs. That was the first exclusive ADR reporting form which was developed by the Jamnagar Center. And then there was a national consultative meeting of the National Pharmacovigilance Program for ASU drugs at Department of Ayush. It was 2-day consultative meeting on 29 and 30th August 2008. As I said, Professor Singhal was member, so he told me all about these consultative meetings. And there it was decided to have a national pharmacovigilance program, which was launched on September 2008. And on the basis of this program, National Pharmacovigilance Program, there was another committee, National Pharmacovigilance Technical Advisory Committee, and the program which was called National Pharmacovigilance Program for ASU drug ran from 2008 to 2013. And under this program, there was a national center which was the Jamnagar, 8 regional centers and 30 peripheral centers. Then there were many training centers through this National Pharmacovigilance Program for ASU, and these trainings were organized by the Jamnagar, and the first training was organized on 13-14 November 2008. But I could not be the part of this first training program. But fortunately, in the second training program, I was invited as a resource person, and then they had at least 7-8 training programs for this under this NPP ASU drug. This was the publication which came out from the Jamnagar Center, and they issued a guidelines how to report ADRs, and it was a basic protocol for the pharmacovigilance program for ASU drug. Then when this program became out of failure, we can't say failure, but it's something which actually the problem was the WHO stopped funding this. So Ministry of Ayush then thought that it should be its own program of the country, and they then Pharmacovigilance Commission and this refresh program, which is called as NCC PVPI, National Coordinating Center, is the Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission. And in 2017, organized a symposium on pharmacovigilance, and from there they started this NCC PVPI, and it is, as Dr. Quamri mentioned, that it's a program which is having a 3-tier system. One National Pharmacovigilance Center, which is the All India Institute of Ayurvedic Medicine, and 5 Intermediary Pharmacovigilance Center. As you all know that all the National Institute of the Traditional Medicine like NIUM is one Intermediary Pharmacovigilance Center, and then there are many Peripheral Pharmacovigilance Center. Currently it is 43 in number, but the target is making these peripheral centers to the number of 100. Apart from this, there is one web portal where the ADR reporting form, which was developed by the Jamnagar, and it is available online in an e-format. So these are some photographs which was taken in 2017 when they restarted this national pharmacovigilance program for ASU drug. Now comes why vigilance and why this concept of the drug safety, especially in relation to herbs. We know that there is increased number of the usage of phytotherapy and consumers and health professionals often ignore the important issues. Like Dr. Quamri mentioned that there are possible interactions with herbs, but there are also interaction between herbs and drugs because these consumers, they usually take this not very seriously and never say that they are also taking herbs as well as there is also a concept that there is no adverse effect and ineffectiveness of the many products which are in the traditional medicine. And in India, these herbs are commonly used because there is a separate Ministry of Ayush. There is a very robust traditional system of medicine in India, and also there is a National Medicinal Plant Board. So there is a need of herbovigilance more in India. But now the question is still there is under-reporting of ADRs in relation to ASU drug, and there are many reasons of under-reporting, and I'm just summarizing few that there is a perception about the qualities of the Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani, and these perceptions are that, especially in the general public, that these medicines are natural, they are nutritious, and they are close to our body and match the human body physiology. So there is lesser chances of side effects or no effects, and they are the safe. And while the adverse drug reaction monitoring program is just a part of the modern therapy. And some traditional practitioners, they also argue that herb remedies are safe because they've been using these drugs for the last many centuries, or it's a part of the traditional use. And whenever they see any news related to adverse reaction on for herbs, then it becomes sensational news, and this also gives negative impression to the practitioners rather than identifying the causes of the ADRs. Again, Dr. Quamri was supposed to tell the types of ADRs, and we know that adverse reactions are having at least 6-7 types. Type A is the augmented type, which is basically also known as side effects, which are known augmented. These are just augmented pharmacological effects, so they are expected, they are known, they are dose dependent. And type B is bizarre type of reaction. Bizarre type of reaction may include such type of vague complaints which comes across with these traditional medicine like irritability, depression, fatigue, headache, and muscle pain. So these could be type of B. This comes in the B, vague type, bizarre type of reaction. Type C is the continuous type of reaction where we consume drugs continuously and has ADRs. Type D is delayed type, D for delayed type. So these rare adverse events and delayed effects may come under the type D of the ADRs. So likewise, we can classify all ADRs of herbal medicines into type A, type B, type C, type D, type E. Type E is basically end on abrupt. The withdrawal symptoms like ADRs comes under type E. Type G is genetic type. So again, we can also work on pharmacogenetics of herbal medicine and classify the pharmacogenetic reasons into type G. Type F is the failure of the response. So most of the time, some herbs, they are placebo effects, and they may come under the type F. Another reason of underreporting is the diagnosis of ADR, and it's very difficult to make causality of herbs with the ADR because it's very difficult because of many reasons. It has sometimes having more than one ingredient, So it's time consuming, it requires skill, and only a person from the pharmacovigilance expert of the traditional medicine can make causality. In each intermediary center, there should be a causality assessment committee where they can make the confirm diagnosis of adverse drug reaction, and then they can also see that there is a positive challenge or positive re-challenge. So by simply withholding those materials, if the ADRs is cured, then we will say that the challenge is positive. So there are again some ways to confirm the diagnosis of ADRs, like challenge and de-challenge. These are some other factors which contribute under reporting of herbal ADRs, like lack of association between herbs and adverse effect. Usually patients stops using herbal medicine because they take this herbal medicine as very carefree type of treatment, and whenever they feel unwell or well, they can stop by own, and sometimes physicians they are also unaware of the use of herbal medicine by their patient, because patients they usually don't report that to the physician that they are taking the herbs, and they don't disclose the use of herbs. So pharmacovigilance reporting, which is was not compulsory till recently for the ASU manufacturers, and still we have very initial stages of the national pharmacovigilance system for complementary and alternative medicine. Then I tried to look the factors which affects the herbal ADR. Although Dr. Quamri has mentioned some factors which affect the herbal ADR, but it would be better if we classify all these factors into some non-specific factors or specific factors, or you may say the non-specific causes or the specific causes. So here are my few which I think could be the non-specific factors for herbal ADRs. Like for example, you know that unlike the allopathic system of medicine, herbal drugs, they are typically chemical rich, and most of the time they are the complex products and not the single isolated compounds. And other factors which influence the qualitative and quantitative chemical profiling of these drugs, like for example, it's all very well known that geographical origin of the medicinal plant, including the climate, soil, photoperiod, genotype of the medicinal plants, and then the parts of the plant used is also very important, like leaves, stems, root. Harvesting time is also important. So all these may lead to herbal ADRs if they are not properly harvest the medicinal plants. Then there are some specific factors also. As I said, there is a phenomenal growth in the use of herbal medicine because of the huge production and as well as the huge consumption by the consumers. Many companies are producing these herbal medicine in the name of the food supplements or botanicals or safe drugs, and so they are continuously used in the community. And another problem, or which may say that most of the countries have its own traditional system of medicine, like in China, in India, and even in Europe, there are some traditional medicine. So the diseases and the prescribing patterns are different in all these countries. Genetics, if we see the genetics of the human population is different, so there is a variation in the use of traditional medicine in all these genetic population, including the diet and lifestyle. Again, we all know that there is a huge marketing of the herbal medicine, and most of these pharmaceutical companies, they are supplying these herbal medicines in the name as food supplements. Like for example, in USA or in Australia, these herbal medicines are sold as food supplements because they don't recognize traditional medicine in the system. Then there is a powerful direct to consumer advertising. We all see the advertisement of herbal medicines on internet as well as in the print media. So even the patients can see all these drugs and indications. So the availability of these drugs as a over the counter and the concept of the self use is also one of the factors for ADR. Then improper use. For example, I noticed that one patient was complaining that he had oil massage with the Ayurvedic medicine, but somehow the temperature of the oil was not to the tune of the body temperature, and that gave rise to boil in the skin. So improper use could also. So these may not be the part of the ADR institute with the medicine, but it could be procedural. Like Dr. Quamri was telling about us, the Ilaj with Tadbir part. So this could also lead to adverse event, not the adverse drug reaction, but adverse event. Then uncontrolled distribution of all these drugs without any indication, doses, and the OTC drugs. And also, we unfortunately do not have any systematic data on the incidence of herbal medicine. So they take advantage. These practitioners that our drugs has never been reported as unsafe. So that's why they are still in use in the common parlance. Most of the time, herbal medicines are used for external purpose and for internal purpose, but still, as I said, they may cause ADRs. And there are certain things which also are also responsible if these procedures are not followed properly as per the national formulary or good manufacturing practices or pharmacopoeias. So we all know that there are separate pharmacopoeias of the herbal medicines also. So all the practitioners, manufacturers, they should follow these formularies. Then again, as I said, there is a marketing strategy of the herbal products to different countries because in different countries there is different regulatory control, and most of the time they are inadequate, and the pharma companies they take advantage of these loopholes and sell all these traditional medicines. Then there is no optimal use of drug budget also, which maintains the highest possible standards, safe and devoid of ADRs. Then there are certain shortcomings in relation to the generation of evidence for the herbal medicine. Like, for example, there is most of the time they are in use because of their mentioning in the classical literature, but there is no proper clinical trials, especially the placebo control, and there is some ethical limitations, and so all these issues in relation to the clinical trials. And then there are some unqualified practitioners who are sitting in the street and they are selling all these herbs in the name of like the cure for stress or aphrodisiacs or diabetes or the memory tonic or for general weakness. So these factors may also lead to the herbal ADRs. Then there are some more examples of the specific factors. For example, poor quality control. And you can see there was a news in the Times of India in 2017 where they elaborated about the possible health, unhealthy effects of heavy metals because of in preparations like bhasm. So poor quality could be like in the form of storage, or there is no proper processing in making the medicines like kushtas. And sometimes in preparing these bhasm or kushtas, we combine herbs and we process all these drugs. So if there is an irrational combination, then there is a greater risk of ADRs. And sometimes they are not declare the other ingredients and not following the good manufacturing practices. and these are the possible adulteration like other drugs, contaminants, if they are not making in a hygienic environment, and if they are not using these heavy metals to the limit of permissible limits. Then these are some factors in relation to poor quality. And another reason could be in Unani system of medicine, where there is a concept of Adviya al-Qalbiya, Abdal, the concept of Abdal, so Abdal al-Adviya. So these substitutes are for the better efficacy and for cost effectiveness, but concern is about the rational drug management in the use of this. So we try to focus this concept of Abdal Adviya in relation to pharmacovigilance. And this was a book published by edited by Anurava Ray from the University of Delhi. So, as I said, as WHO, or more specifically Uppsala Monitoring Center, came with the concept of herbal ATC classification. So, this should be again in need in not only by the Uppsala, but also if we are trying to report from the Intermediary Center, then it's better if we report with the coding of herbs. So there is a need of classification and regulation of herbal products, and because the misclassification of these herbs, there may be chances of misreporting, or if suppose we are reporting area with one medicinal plants, and same medicinal plants may be in use with the different medicinal plants, so chances of reporting. As I said, herb naming problems, like there are many botanical names of one medicinal plants, many common names in different countries, and sometimes the trade names are also there. So there is a need of validation of botanical identity and the herbal ATC classification. Although, as I said, Uppsala Monitoring Center has developed this ATC classification and tried to resolve this multiple naming and the adulterations, and so, but still it does not fit into the VG-based program of the WHO Monitoring Center. Other specific factors could be like combination of herbs with other system of medicine. For example, this is another case report where we try to report that Ruta graveolens was the medicine which was suggested for vitiligo in a patient, and when patient reported there is some hyperpigmentation, loss of hair, and dark colored skin, and he was asked to bring the medicine or the history. Then he mentioned that he's also taking another medicine of homeopathy system of medicine. So this could be chances of the combination with other therapies. So it could lead to serious areas. This is amendment in 2008, where you all know that Drugs and Cosmetic Rule 1945, earlier only the natural coloring agents were allowed in combining or in making the drugs, but now Ayurveda Siddha Unani drugs can also use the antioxidants from the modern medicine, flavoring agents, preservatives, and sweeteners. So you know that these excipients, although they are used to increase the shelf life and to prevent decomposing, but what about the areas? These could also lead to areas. So chances are that the herbs may not be responsible for the area, but these excipients which are used as additives. So this is also should be considered. Some more specific factors. This is another example of misidentification of herbs. Basically, so this patient was again suggested to use Ruta graveolens, yes, and he had all these symptoms epistaxis, nausea, vomiting. And when he was asked to bring the drug, he brought the drug, and which we found that it was not Rheumatoid gravidens but Euphorbia draconchlitis, which was toxic. So this was confirmed by the pharmacognosy expert. So he was not taking the actual drug Rheumatoid gravidens but Euphorbia draconchlitis. So all these reactions were not because of the Rheumatoid gravidens but the misidentification of herbs which patient was taking. Dr. Quamri was mentioning about Vigilance program. Again, Vigilance is not new in Unani system of medicine. We all know that most of the material which was used in preparing medicines were used to be polished and die casted to avoid the direct contact of herbs with metals so that it may not lead to the metal poisoning. See, these are some examples of the magical bowls which were prepared with metals, and they are used to administer drug and to enhance the efficacy. So this is just an example that we all know that mortar and pestles are made up of different stones, quartz, wood, and these things. And sometimes we need to make the sufuf or the fine powder. And for these sufus, we need to have proper mortar and pestle with proper metal or stone. So chances is that if you are making the hard medicine like Jawahirat, then we should use the hard stone mortar and pestle. Otherwise, there is a chances of increase in the weight of the powder because of the soft stones. So this could also, and these stones and silica, as one scientist reported that it may cause accelerate the blood coagulation by absorption and partial denaturation of specific plasma proteins, Hageman factor. So these metals may reach to the systemic circulation and to the patients and may cause harm. So this was the concept which we reported, and we tried to say in this editorial that the concept of material vigilance program, which is not new in Unani system of medicine. Then we should discuss the factors that may lead to decrease in ADRs. Now we have confirmed that no drug is safe, even drugs of the traditional system of medicine. Just a minute. Ji Mursaleen. Ji. Okay. Take it. So Mursaleen is asking me to conclude. So just a few more things, and these are if you follow all these things, then it will be helpful. Then again, these are some factors which may lead to decrease in areas. Like already we are having so many intermediary and national centers. So they may help in the creating awareness and dissemination of information of areas. This was a paper published in Uppsala Monitoring Center in 2002, where we tried to discuss all the problems related to medicinal products and means to minimize this. Still, we have many challenges, and these challenges this helpful in making the program pharmacovigilance successful if we follow and try to resolve these challenges. So I'm not going into the details, but important thing is like in medical colleges, we should have pharmacovigilance cell in all traditional medical colleges, and it should be a role of the CCIM that students should also be taught about the reporting of ADRs. So I'm not going into the details. So these are some examples of monitoring herb-drug interactions. We know that drugs are metabolized by enzymes. So any variability and mutation in these enzymes, this may lead to the drug interaction. These are examples of the P-glycoprotein mutation, and this helps in the efflux, and this protein is responsible for the efflux of the protein, so it's increase or decrease proteins. And then these are some examples of herb-drug interaction like St. John worts. If it is used with warfarin, cyclosporin, so there may be changes in the concentration. This is another paper which I tried to show that St. John wort which is used in as antidepressant, and if this is combined with serotonin, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, so there is a chances of serotonin syndrome. And from this population of 266,000 population, we found that 11 persons were using SSRI with St. John wort. So you may think that the chances of serotonin syndrome. So these are other examples of herbal interactions. I'm not going, and these are the WHO database where you can see more and more herbal areas are being reported when they started this program, separate programs on herbal medicine. Even in, if you see, South Korea is the country which is reporting areas in relation to herbs more than other countries. So India is not showing any herbal areas. This is about the suspected area reporting in the England. So you can see with the age and with the years, they are in seeing the number of reports of areas more within. Similarly, after inclusion of unlicensed, so earlier they were reporting only the licensed medicine. Now they are also reporting unlicensed medicine. So after 1996, there is a huge reporting of herbs. These are the herbal reporting to the National Coordinating Center, Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission, and they found that 39 reports, and these are mostly from the skin and appendages disorders, and these are the drugs which are reported like aloe vera and melas and these. So the causality assessment was also done. They found 5 cases probable. So because of shortage of time, I'm not going to the details. Herbal areas can also be classified as per the system organ class and as per the disease. Like for example here, allergic areas, cardiac areas, endocrinal areas, irritant, renal, and toxic. Similarly, these are examples of areas on cardiovascular system and some other possible interaction. So now we are to the path of progress, and we are trying to increase the awareness of pharmacovigilance for herbs through the information and the various programs, promote safe and proper use, develop standard guidelines, develop drug information centers. But still, we don't have drug information centers for herbs in most of the Unani colleges and Ayurvedic colleges. So we need to have periodic safety update reports if we are using clinical trials, and these National Pharmacovigilance Program Center should be well equipped with area monitoring centers and in collaboration with Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission. So in the last, I would like to summarize that ultimate goal of pharmacovigilance is the safe and proper use of effective medicines, including the complementary and alternative medicine. Pharmacovigilance of herbal medicine is different than the conventional drugs. So the system of reporting pharmacovigilance for herbal medicine should be different from the area reporting with the conventional system. So all the system which is existed is for the synthetic medicine. We need to modify to address specific differences of herbal medicine. So there is a way to go. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Professor Sayyid Ziaur Rahman sir, for delivering such an informative lecture. You covered various aspects and challenges in pharmacovigilance, especially in the system of medicine. And these were really very informative inputs. I think these will be helpful for the pharmacovigilance center spreading across the country. And I hope in future we will have different lectures from this. So it was the second lecture of the scientific session. Now I request Professor Kumar Muhammad Yusuf Amin Sahab to deliver the presidential address of this scientific session. So please.
Assalamu alaikum. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, sir. You can hear me.
I thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity to be a part of this very important deliberation of pharmacovigilance. I must say that I have benefited very much from the two presentations. Dr. Quamri has given us rich details from Unani sources about the fact that Unani medicine has always appreciated the chances of adverse effects, and in fact Unani medicine has gone ahead to even appreciate that what are the unlikely scenarios which can give rise to side effects. So it is not, Unani medicine has been sensitive not only to the problem of adverse effects but also to the problem of unexpected scenarios, which may not be according to the proper manner of imparting healthcare, and it may be chance occurrences, etc., which may also contribute to the adverse effects. And Professor Ziaur Rahman has really given us a very valuable presentation. On the one side, he has a long association with the Pharmacovigilance Society and personal information about its history, and in fact he is part of the later history of pharmacovigilance in India. And at the same time, he has a very intimate and very appreciative study of the chances of adverse effects in Unani medicine healthcare, and what can be the various appreciated and unappreciated factors behind the development of adverse effects while giving Unani healthcare. So this has been very valuable. The lecture by Professor Ziaur Rahman has been very valuable on account of its dual authenticity. It's part of the pharmacovigilance exercise in India, and at the same time, his presentation has shown that he has a very appreciative and direct personal participation in the imparting of Unani healthcare and how it can give rise to adverse effects. In fact, all these lectures are so valuable. I can just appreciate that the entire material which is available with the two resource persons would be wider than what could be presented in this limited time. So I would request the organizers to request the resource persons to share their papers and other material at their disposal, and immediately committee may be set up to compile all this data and to prepare a good report, which can then be sent to not only to CCRUM, but which can hopefully be published in a widely consulted journal. So this is a suggestion which I would make at the outset, that the information provided over here is very valuable. It should be compiled, and it should be compiled in the form of a comprehensive report, and attempts must be made to get it published and to upload it upload it online also, and make it available to persons who are interested in this process of pharmacovigilance. As a person who is personally using Unani medicine over the last 10 years and who has recommended it to many persons and observed their use, I have also observed the adverse effects which arise with Unani medicine. And along with my enthusiastic espousal and my efforts to draw the attention of people to this great heritage of mankind that is Unani medicine, I'm equally motivated to see to it that the adverse effects which develop, and mostly because of less proper use, there should be a mechanism, there should be a proper mechanism to avoid these adverse effects. This will go a long way in creating and maintaining the confidence in Unani medicine. And of course, much more important than that is the ethical consideration of avoiding harm to the patients. So I have personally observed the occurrence of adverse effects. I have seen simple ones like dryness of mouth on taking Habbe Shifa. Then I have come across more serious ones such as partial paresis because of improper location of cupping, invasive cupping, hijama bishurt. So this is indeed a very important and very this is indeed a very important aspect of Unani healthcare, that we have to ensure the detection and avoidance of adverse effects, mainly by implementing the pharmacovigilance exercise in a proper way. Now, in this regard, first of all, I believe that the information about the adverse effects should be prepared. There should be a list of drugs which include Darja 3, Darja 3 or third degree drugs, Unani drugs, which are likely to be toxic. So such formulations which include third degree drugs and which are commonly given, these a list of such rakabat and even mufradat should be prepared, number one. Number two, whatever are the likely adverse effects of these formulations having third degree ingredients, these likely adverse effects should be searched out from the classical literature of Unani medicine. Then they should also be searched out from the large amount of information which is available on natural products, because natural products are being studied in many contexts, not only in the context of traditional medicines like traditional Chinese medicine, Ayurveda, etc., but also in the context of natural product medicine, because natural products are being used by Western medicine also as a part of its natural product medicine wing. And then in chemistry, in biochemistry, in various other contexts, the herbal products are being studied for their toxic effects. So the second source of likely toxicity should be this literature, where adverse effects of the natural products are reported. Number three, the phytochemicals in these formulations should be identified, a list of the phytochemicals, the alkaloids, the glycosides, etc., which are present in each formulation. This list should be made. And most of these alkaloids and glycosides have been studied for their adverse effects. So these adverse effects of the phytochemicals should also be listed. So in this way, we can have a very comprehensive list of the likely adverse effects obtained from classical literature, from information about natural products, and from information about the phytochemicals which are known to be part of these drugs. So this type of information should be prepared, and it should be made available at a wide level to the Unani physicians so that they become alerted. They may become alerted where to look for the adverse effects. Now, this information should also include include the alerting that it is not only the it is not only the described way of using or recommended way of using which can give rise to adverse effects, but patients and physicians use the drugs in settings which are different from the settings described in the classical texts. For instance, a person may use a drug when he or she is suffering from some other disease also, in the presence of comorbidities. Or this person may have some very peculiar characters which are not there in the average patient. So in this way, things could be producing adverse effects when they are being used in a manner which has not been visualized and anticipated in the classical literature. So the physician should be alerted to the fact that he has to look for unexpected adverse effects also when people use these drugs in settings which have not been described in the classical literature. Number 3, a new area of problems has arisen in the form of drug interactions. As Professor Ziaur Rahman has indicated, that the herbs, they can enter into very serious drug interactions with the synthetic drugs. So these herbs may themselves not be dangerous, but when they are taken as adjuncts to allopathic drugs, then they may enter into interactions with these allopathic drugs, and they may decrease their metabolism, thereby increasing the chances of toxicity with the allopathic drugs. So this is yet another area. And I think that this information, which should be prepared for Unani physicians, should have a third section of the chances of drug interactions. The physician should be alerted to see whether his patient is receiving some allopathic treatment or not, and then then the physician should try to visualize whether his drug, his Unani drug, may enter into an interaction with the allopathic drug. And so he should alert the patient for some increased response to the drug, toxic effect of the drug, allopathic drug also. He should sensitize the patient to the fact that when you take this Unani drug, there are chances that the allopathic drug may give rise to some toxicity. So this should be the third part of the information which should be developed for sensitizing Unani physicians, that is the chances of likely interactions. Then a very important area is the adverse effects of Ilaj bit Tadbir regimens. As I just mentioned, serious paresis occurred in a middle-aged lady when hijama vishut was applied to her shoulders in an improper manner without taking care of surface anatomy, as a result of which some nerve got damaged. So this leaflet, this information which should be prepared about sensitizing Unani physicians about adverse effects should include an independent section for Ilaj bit Tadbir and the likely adverse effects which can occur, which may be related to infection, which may be related to damage to nerves, etc. So they should be sensitized to these likely adverse effects of regimenal treatment. So this I think is very crucial, that this sort of information should be prepared and it should be made available to the physicians. The second thing is that there should be a proper mechanism of reporting. For this, the most proper agency is the CCRUM. CCRUM should set up a central reporting agency. However, the CCRUM should partner with the WHO and with Unani professional associations in order to develop this cell, and where the people should be available in real time to take the calls from patients and physicians and to note down the things and to systematize the things. As Professor Ziaur Rahman has pointed out, the names of the drugs will have to be regularized. The patient or the physician may report it by some other name, but this agency should have a table of the globally accepted name of this Unani drug. So they should they should enter the globally accepted name along with the name which has been mentioned by the patient or the physician. So the CCRUM should set up a body for taking phone calls in real time, 24 hours, round the clock. And both the patients and the physicians should be encouraged to make reports of any adverse effects which they happen to feel. They can make a call to this cell, and the person at that cell should be trained to not only take the information, but also to find out all the necessary information, such as the name of the drug, the name of the patient, the name of the disease, etc. And in the case of Unani medicine, it's very important to take the name of the company, because some some adverse effects may occur because of improper preparation at the company level, at the pharmaceutical company level, rather in the original drug itself. So the company's name should also be taken. And then this person should correct the name of the drug by the name which is globally accepted. And the person should similarly regularize the name of the complaint also, because a patient may complain his headache in various different terminologies. But the person over there who is taking down the complaint, he should convert the complaint into globally accepted terms such as headache, instead of the various paraphrasings which would be mentioned by each individual patient or physician. So the second important thing is that there should be a cell set up by CCRUM to take down these complaints and to regularize these complaints so that the information can be used globally and in a scientific manner. Yet another thing is that the physicians should be sensitized to the fact that they should not only have a good understanding of kulliyat, but they should develop the practice of having full details about the formulations which they are using. Some basic details are available in the common textbooks of Mufridat and Murakkabat, but other very important details about various Murakkabat are there, which are not a part of textbooks. So the physicians should be encouraged to have all the information, the rich details of the information available in Unani texts other than the textbooks, so that the physician may advise the proper use of the drug. So this is again very important. The physicians should be encouraged to go into details further than that available in the textbooks. And then comes the teaching part. In our syllabus, we should include pharmacovigilance related information should be included as an important ingredient of our syllabus in Moalajat and other relevant areas. And this should be substantial questions should be asked. A good amount of questions should be asked related to pharmacovigilance, so that even at the undergraduate level, our physicians they are imparted with all the necessary details related to pharmacovigilance. So the syllabus has to be revised and it has to be increased, and there should be greater questioning from this syllabus. Then, of course, there should be CMEs like this one. And, I would recommend that that a report of the CME should be immediately prepared this report did not only be published if possible, but at least it should be uploaded. This should be a must. This should be a must. A CME, I think, does not serve much purpose unless its report is prepared. And nowadays we have this means of online forum. So these reports should be immediately uploaded, and so that anyone can take benefit from these reports. So I think this is a reform which is needed in CMEs, that they should publish their report. They should upload their report within a fortnight. They should not wait long for it. They should prepare it and upload it within 15 days. This will go a long way in making these CMEs effective and in making pharmacovigilance more successful. Finally, I would like to say that the issue of global use of Unani medicine. Fortunately, these days I am part of an online course going on, international course, an introductory course on Unani medicine, in which I found that there are a large number of persons in UK, US, Germany, other European countries, Southeast Asian countries, who are very interested in taking Unani treatment. And they are always having many queries about Unani treatment. So we have to take into account this newfound use of Unani medicine. And I think this cell about which I just submitted, which can be set up by CCRUM in partnership with WHO and Unani professional associations. So this cell should solicit the name of authorized Unani physicians who can give online counseling. So such names should be invited, then they should be vetted, and then these names can be put on the CCRUM website. These names of Unani physicians who are available for online counseling, who are authorized persons. So such names should be put on the website of CCRUM, from which who can be consulted by persons throughout the world who are interested in taking a Unani treatment. They may have the drug at their disposal, but as all of us know, that unless they have authorized Unani physician to guide them, it will do little good and it may do more harm. So this is a thing whose time seems to have come, that is online counseling, authorized, reliable online counseling. A mechanism should be made for this online counseling. So these were a few very important practical tips which come to one's mind, which can make our pharmacovigilance exercise interesting, exciting, and practically useful. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for this very informative and practical presidential address. And as we discussed about the CME report, so inshallah we will hear your suggestion and we will compile this report and in the form of recommendation we will send inshallah to different bodies and the department website. So thank you once again, sir. Thank you once again. Now I request Professor Misbauddin Siddiqui sir to deliver the concluding remark.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Honorable and our respected teachers, Professor Aleem Sahab, our guest speakers, my colleagues, participants, and my dear friends. Assalamu alaikum. Firstly, the Department of Moalajat is thankful to our Chief Patron, Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor Salih Mansoor, Patron Professor Zahiruddin, Vice Chancellor AMU, for their patronage. We were able to organize this CME awareness program on pharmacovigilance of Ayurvedic, Siddha, Unani and homeopathic drugs. We are also thankful to Ministry of Ayush, Government of India for giving us this opportunity to work with this project of pharmacovigilance center and give us the permission to establish a center in our Department of Moalajat. As we know, pharmacovigilance is also known drug safety in pharmacological science relating to the collection, detection, assessment, monitoring, and prevention of adverse effects with pharmaceutical products, which is going on with the allopathic medicine since a long period. Here, the safety of herbal medicine has become major concern to the national health authorities and the general public. The use of herbal and traditional medicine continues to be expanded rapidly in general public. The use of herbal and traditional medicine continues to expand rapidly across the globe. People like herbal medicine and products for their health care in regular way. Now it is the time to establish safety measures to herbal medicine and detect any adverse effects related with the herbal medicine to rectify it from its use. For this purpose, Ministry of Ayush, Government of India established Peripheral Pharmacovigilance Center and the coordination of Professor Tanzeel Ahmad with assistance of Dr. Aligarh, the Department of Moalajat, Aligarh. The team is working immensely towards herbal medicine safety. The department is very thankful to Professor Muhammad Yusuf Amin Sahab accepting our request to preside over the scientific session of this CME program and his valuable, knowledgeable words which was presented by him just now. We are also thankful to Dr. M. Quamri and Professor Ziaur Rahman for their detailed and knowledgeable lectures in relation with the pharmacovigilance parameters. I am thankful to Dean Faculty of Unani Dean and Principal HoD for their suggestions, cooperation and help. It is all the efforts of our chairman, Professor Tanzeel Ahmad, our faculty members, Professor Yunus Siddiqui, Professor Tabassum Latafat, Professor Badrul Duja Khan, Dr. Mursaleen Naseer, Dr. Jamal Azmat, Dr. F. Javed Ali, with their hard work, feedback related to herbal medicine and cooperation with we were able to organize this CME program. The department is also thankful to our non-teaching staff, Mr. Dilnawaz, Mr. Amar, Mr. Naveed, Mr. Arif, Mr. Suhail, Mr. Vinod, whose hard work is very much helpful to us. Lastly, the department is thankful to directors and the staff of Computer Center for their support and online participants who attended the CME gained a lot of thoughtful knowledge. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. I once again thankful to our distinguished speakers, especially Professor Muhammad Yusuf Amin Sahab, who presides the scientific session, and all the participants who joined this online CME program. As I have announced already that you have been received the feedback link. So you fill that link, and inshallah you will get your participation certificate from there. So once again, I am thankful all of you, and with the permission of chairman, I would like to end this meeting. May I close this meeting now, sir? Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
हाँ भाई आ जाओ।